Alright, so 2002's Halloween Resurrection. I haven't seen this movie in years, for good reason. Watching this again, this movie is a fucking joke. Like, it had to have been a joke. Like, this movie had to have started as, especially that we know that Kevin Williamson was involved with the writing and stuff for Halloween H2O. And Jamie Lee Curtis was under contract to appear in this movie. She didn't even want to appear in this movie. But just to get, she wanted to get H2O made. And she even wanted to bring Carpenter into it. And she wanted to have a whole reunion and stuff from the first Halloween. And in order for her to get Halloween H2O made, she was under contract to appear in the sequel in this. And she gets killed fucking immediately. But just having Kevin Williamson involved in H2O and him writing the whole paramedic retcon of how that wasn't Michael at the end of H2O and it was a paramedic and Michael switched with him and all that shit. It would not surprise me in the slightest that this started off as a spoof film. Like, this movie is so fucking bad. Really. Like, it's the worst movie in the franchise for me. By far. Like, let's just fucking get it over with. Look, we got Laurie in the asylum after killing the paramedic, and we find out here when we get the exposition from the nurse that Myers switched with the paramedic and crushed his larynx so that he couldn't speak, and that's why he couldn't say, wait a minute, don't chop my head off, I'm a fucking paramedic, like, I'm not Michael. Fucking which would have been great information for him to get out if he didn't have his larynx crushed, but unfortunately Michael thinks ahead, which, was that Michael's plan? Like, how did he know that Laurie was going to drive off with Michael in the coroner van? He had no way of knowing that. So I guess he just accidentally crushed his larynx when he pushed him up against the wall. It's the only thing I can think of. Unless he has fucking foresight to see that whole ending of H2O coming. And knew that she was going to cut the head off of this paramedic. And knew that he would not be able to speak. So he had to crush his larynx to make sure that he wouldn't be able to say, no, wait, I'm not Michael. All of that is fucking stupid. And then the guard didn't see the headless corpse on the ground in front of the laundry machine. When he finds the head in there, he comes in looking this way. The body's like by the camera here on the floor. The washing machine's over here. He didn't fucking, by walking this way and looking directly this way, he did not see the guy's body on the floor. Oh my god. Alright, so that happens. Then we get the thing, and the same thing in H2O, I forgot to even mention that. With the whole thing of Michael fucking one-arming, pull up, down, like hiding in the rafters, and then coming down. Get the fuck out of here, that's so stupid. And he does it again in this. So, like, apparently Michael's been working out like a shit ton, just doing one-arm pull-ups, just so he can get his strength ready. So he can just, and that's another thing. The fucking guy didn't see Michael up there. This guy has just straight vision. He doesn't look down. He doesn't look up. He doesn't look in any direction but forward. I don't fucking know. Then Laurie lures Michael onto the ceiling. And we see that she's not been taking her pills, and they mention that she has dissociative disorder or something like that. I'm not an expert on dissociative disorder, but could it come on just from being through a traumatic experience like that? I'm guessing so. So maybe it's not too far-fetched that she is diagnosed with that, but she's not taking any of her medication. She keeps spitting it out, and we see there's a treasure trove of her medication in that Raggedy Ann doll. And she ends up getting Michael to the roof and catches him in the trap. He's hanging upside down, and then he does the same thing the paramedic does at the end of H2O when he's grabbing at the mask and stuff like this, like, how am I in this mask? Now, the only thing I can think of is that he's upside down and he's saying to himself, shit, the blood is rushing to my head. Fucking stop this. That's the only thing I can think of, which I think is also ridiculous. But how would he know that that's what the paramedic did at the end of H2O in order to psych Laurie out here to make her have to go and make sure that this is Michael before she kills him? How? Like, why does Michael do that? Why does he grab his mask just like the paramedic at the end of H2O? There is no way that he knows the paramedic did that at the end of H2O. He wasn't there. So how would he know to do that? And it's heavily implied he's doing that just to get her close to him, for her to make sure and pull the mask off to see that it's Michael. Which, how would she know what Michael looks like anyway nowadays? It's been fucking 20-something years. How is she going to know what Michael looks like? Did she ever see? She saw his face once in the first Halloween for like 3 seconds when he lifts the mask up right before Loomis shoots him 6 times. When he shot him 6 times. That's the only time. So how would she know that it's even Michael? I don't know, but she goes to check, and then she ends up getting killed by Michael. They fall over the side of the building, and for some reason, she gives him a kiss on the mask, on the lips of the mask, and says, "I'll see you in hell," and she falls and gone. Laurie's dead. It sucks. Like, it's a shitty fucking ending for Laurie, but we've already seen Laurie die once in this series. So the only thing maybe I can give Halloween Ends is that Laurie survives at the end. Like, she deserved that, at least. But she dies here, and she's dead. And then we have Sarah, Jen, and Rudy, who are all friends, and they get picked to go on this Dangertainment web series reality show in the Myers house, where it's all broadcast live, and there you have to look for clues of what caused Michael's urge to kill and what turned him into what he is today. I don't know, man. Like, they could have had like a decent idea here. Like, the whole web series thing and having it all on camera, it could have worked if they just like rewrote the script completely. Like, completely. But the idea, though, of having them in the Myers house and having them all wearing cameras and the whole place is rigged with cameras, it could have worked if it was a completely different movie. And it's not. So I can't really give it credit. And then we have, like I said in the last movie, with just rappers in the 90s, in the late 90s, appearing in fucking horror movies all over the place. We have Busta Rhymes in here, and then we got Tyra Banks in here. Does nothing for me at all, not one bit. So Busta Rhymes, Tyra Banks, whatever. Then we have the camera guy who gets stabbed in the neck with the camera tripod or whatever, which is a fucking sharp end to the tripod at the end there. Like, I don't know, I'm not a camera person. I don't know if they are that sharp, but it basically looks like a fucking spear. And he ends up spearing him in the neck. That's one thing I can say about this movie, is some of the kills are good. Like, at least we get to see some decent gore, some decent kills. Not really even great gore, but just something. At least we get some decent kills in here. And that's pretty much where the pros end. Then we have Kevin from American Pie, which I can't watch this movie seriously, like, for everything. But it's that too. Like, every time I've seen this movie, I can't take that character seriously. Every time I look at him, it's just Kevin from American Pie. So it's such weird casting with him. Like, what the fuck is he doing in a Halloween movie? I don't know. Like, maybe that's, I forget when all the American Pies came out. I know 99, 98 was the first one. Maybe it was in between American Pies. They didn't know there'd be another one, and just, it was popular at the time. They said, hey, come to be in a Halloween movie. Terrible casting. Like, absolutely terrible. And then the whole baby chair thing. Now, we find out later that all of this, most of the stuff in the house was planted and set up by Freddie, Busta Rhymes, and Tyra Banks and stuff for this show. So it's not all reality. And he mentions later that, you know, people hate reality and they like seeing some type of drama and entertainment, excitement go on in the stuff they watch. So that's why they rigged up the house and stuff. So I don't know if this chair was part of it, because one of the characters mentions the furniture. If it wasn't, though, whenever have we heard or it's been implied or anything that Michael's family abused him, basically? That he was locked into this baby chair, like the type of chairs when you're feeding your baby and stuff. There's a lock on it. So they're implying that that Michael's parents locked him in this baby chair. Again, I don't know if that's just that little chair was planted there, Probably was. But if it wasn't, that's just fucking retarded there, right there too. Like that whole thing there implying that he was locked in that chair and that he was abused pretty much, like as a child. Never do we get any indication of this. Never do we hear about this in any way, shape, or form in the franchise. Fucking dumb. Then, why do they all pair up with people they can't stand? Like, I don't get it. Fucking Jen and Sarah are best friends. Why aren't they together fucking walking around? I mean, Sarah and Rudy go walking around, yeah. But then we have Jen, Kevin from American Pie. He keeps hitting on her. She can't fucking stand him. Why does she stay with him? And then we see the musician guy with Jim, I think his name is, and Dawn, who's fucking gorgeous in this movie. Oh, I love her in this. She's like one of the only positives about this movie. The two of them, yeah, they eventually start getting into each other. She gets into him, but he's hitting on her like crazy, and she wants fucking nothing to do with him. So why are they all paired with people they can't fucking stand, or they're getting annoyed as shit with? I don't know. Like, just to set up that whole little scene with Dawn and Jim in like the cellar and Michael's little hideout where he's been hiding under the house? Probably. I guess so. I don't know. Can't give you answers. Then Kevin gets pulled through the mirror and stabbed in the head. Cool. Like the stabbing in the head looks cool. It's quick as shit, but at least it's something. At least it's not a cutaway kill or anything like that. And then where did Michael get his fucking mask again? I've mentioned this in a few of them. Something in 4, it makes sense that they're selling them in the Haddonfield costume department or whatever, because we see it there. At the end of H2O, the paramedic's head is cut clean off. Then the rest of the cops and the paramedics show up and they take the mask off of him and stuff. That mask is getting taken to fucking evidence. So where did he get another mask? Does he just have like 100 masks in the Myers house? Just in case? They're like, shit, if I lose my mask, I'm going to have to wear that clown mask they wanted in the first film. So like, he just has a whole bunch of them just ready to go. But then we see Busta Rhymes wearing the Michaels mask too. So at this point, I'm guessing he's just such a national fucking icon and that he's a notorious serial killer. I mean, I don't remember the last time I was in a Halloween store and saw like a John Wayne Gacy costume or fucking Ted Bundy or Jeffrey Dahmer costume. Can't remember seeing any of that. So I guess though that's how you explain it away, that he's such a notorious serial killer that they mass produce his masks. That's got to be what it is, because there's no fucking way he got that same mask back from H2O. And the mask actually in this movie, it's not that bad. That's another thing I'll give it. It's not great by any means, but it's so much better than H2O. So much better. Like, I like the mask much better in this movie. And then we have Deckard, the freshman online friend of Sarah, who she thinks he's a grad student, and he's the one who helps her throughout the end of the movie by texting her and telling him where Michael is in the house and everything. Whatever. Like, there's really nothing good I can say about this movie. Dawn is fucking gorgeous, and the mask is much better than H2O, and that's like fucking, and some of the kills. That's basically like it. And then we have the music guy, Jim, says hold on to Dawn when she finally gives in and like does a complete 180 and wants to fuck him. Are you serious? Dude, there's not a key in the world that he goes to grab that key and puts it into the fucking cellar and opens it. There is nothing on the planet that would stop me and make me say, hold on, when he's been hitting on this girl the entire time that they've been in this house, and she's been showing no interest, and now she's finally throwing herself at him, and he says, hold on? Are you fucking kidding me? There was nothing that I would be holding on to, except unless it was her body, her breasts, anything like that. There was nothing that would distract me in that moment. Nothing. But he apparently just, his boner is just, and even that's, I don't know why that sound effect killed me, but boner gone, and he just has to go get that key for some reason. I gotta get that key and get in this cellar, because that's gonna be more interesting in my life than making love with this gorgeous fucking woman. And then we see Freddy as Michael, with Michael following behind him. Why Michael doesn't just kill him right then and there? Because of the fucking plot. That's why. Fucking, there's no reason that Michael doesn't kill Busta Rhymes right then and there. Especially when he turns around, Busta, and he sees him and he thinks it's Charlie, the camera guy. And he even goes as far as he's saying, like, get back out there. We've been looking for you. Get back out to Tyra Banks' character or whatever. Like, we need you back there. I left the back door open. And then he starts going, hello! Dude, like, smacking Michael in the fucking forehead. Like, excuse me? Like, are you fucking serious? He doesn't just impale him with that knife right then and there? That is so stupid too. Smacking his forehead and shit. And Michael just turns around and fucking, alright, fuck it, I'll get you later, boy. I'm like, come on. And then Michael downgrades from dogs to rats in this movie. I guess he lost his taste for dog, and now he's eating rats. I don't know. Rat. And it's funny kind of how I thought of this, because it plays into the whole Deckard and his friend at the Halloween party. They're dressed up like Jules and Vincent from Pulp Fiction. And just like it popped into my head, the whole conversation between them when Jules is saying that, like, sewer rat might taste like pumpkin pie, but I'd never know because I wouldn't eat them, motherfucker. So just seeing the rats and stuff that Michael's like feeding on, that reminded me of that much, much, much more superior film. And then Dawn gets impaled on the gate by Michael, and then Deckard's at the party, and people are pouring in from this party, and they're all watching online and stuff, watching this whole event take place. Deckard's the only one who sees that this is real and that all this killing is actually happening. Everybody else thinks he's crazy and thinks, oh, grow up, man, it's just digital effects. Come on, are you serious? Digital effects? It's 2002. Fucking... There was not effects that good. And you could, especially when he decapitates Jen on the top of the stairs and her head comes flying down. One of the people are like, how'd they do that? Are you serious? Like, come on. Deckard's the only fucking intelligent person in this whole movie. And Sarah. This line made me laugh. This is like the one line in the movie that makes me laugh. When Rudy and Jen are smoking pot, and Rudy's like, thank God there's no cameras in this room. And she's like, we're wearing cameras. And then they start laughing hysterically. That's funny. That's some funny shit. Besides that, that's like the only line in this movie that me calling this a fucking joke, that's the only joke. Like, that's funny. Everything else is just tragic about this movie. Even Jamie Lee Curtis said that this is a joke, this movie. Even John Carpenter said he cringed at this movie. Like, what more do you need? Like, you got John Carpenter and Jamie Lee Curtis both fucking disowning this movie, saying this movie is fucking terrible. And goddamn, they are on the nose with that. They are fucking right. So Jen gets decapitated and her head rolls down the stairs. Then Jim gets his head crushed by Michael, which looks alright. I like how he's bleeding from the eyes and stuff, like right before his head's crushed. Then we get Rudy trying to fillet Michael with the 2 knives, and you like Susie, bitch. Really, some of the lines in this movie, man, are fucking insanely ridiculous. Then we get a 3-knife pinup with Rudy, upping the ante from the original, from just the one knife holding Bob up. We get 2 of them holding up Rudy, and then he goes in and grabs that big-ass fucking kitchen knife and stabs him with that too. That I can make a little more sense of. You got 3 knives that are holding you up. It would still never happen. There's no fucking way that 3 knives are holding this motherfucker up off of his feet. But at least there's 3 of them. So at least you can kind of rational away the stupidity. I don't know. Then fucking Busta with the kung fu. This is just fucking so egregiously stupid. And I know people who enjoy this. And that's fine. Like I say all the time, if you enjoy a movie or enjoy parts of a movie, whatever, you are 100% entitled to, 100% entitled to your opinion, taste, whatever. We all have different tastes and opinions and likes and dislikes and everything. But this is just so fucking bad. Like, it's so bad. And is he even, like, does he even know Kung Fu? Busta Rhymes in this movie? We see him at the beginning when Sarah goes to his hotel room and says she wants out of this whole series and stuff. She says that she doesn't want to be in it. And we see Busta watching Kung Fu movies. So is he just, like, doing Kung Fu based off of the movies he watches? Or does he actually know Kung Fu? Either way, it's fucking abysmally stupid. But if he knows Kung Fu, at least it's a little bit less stupid. But if he's just basing it off of watching movies, oh my god, it's so fucking terrible. Like, it's so bad. And then Deckard's typing text messages to Sarah and saying where Michael is and stuff, and then it's just Freddie and Sarah left. And they're back in the house after she gets on the roof. Why not just jump off the roof? I mean, yeah, you might break your fucking legs and shit, but at least you'll be out of the house. At least you can have a head start, something, instead of going back into the house with Michael. But then he texts her and she texts him, says, where is he? And he says, in the house. And then 2 seconds later, Michael is right next to them. That would have been a lot better information to text to her. Like, not just, he's in the house, meaning he can be anywhere in the house. He's in the room right next to you. He's about to be right on you. That would have been a lot better information for this fucking guy to give her. Nope, just, he's in the house. All right, well, that helps quite a bit, thank you. And then looks right to the right, and Michael's right there. Oh, God, this movie is so bad. And Tyra Banks was killed off screen. We don't see what happens to her. And we see Sarah go in and slip or like pick up the blood on the ground. And all these movies, no one ever knows blood without having to fucking like put it in the light and look at it. And oh my God, it's blood. Like, either someone dripped water on the ground or oil, or it's fucking blood. She just went through all these fucking traumatic experiences of having her friends butchered alive in this house. They know Michael's on the loose. I'm gonna go with it's blood. Like, unless there was, like I said, someone knocked over a gasoline canister or some shit in this little trailer that with the cameras and everything. Tyra Banks has been sitting in this whole movie. It's blood. I'll be safe and go with that. They never do in these movies. They're always shocked when it's blood. For some reason, even after seeing all these people get killed, whatever. Fucking, we're almost done. We're almost done suffering through this movie. Then, do chainsaws ever not run out of power in movies? Like, when the protagonists are using them, they always run out. Like, always. Like, there is never a fully gassed up chainsaw, ever, that a main chick or a guy or any of the good guys, a protagonist in a movie, use against a killer. It always stops. They get like they swing it a little bit, and it's always the same shit. It fucking ends, and it shuts off, runs out of gas, whatever, and then, oh shit. And then just, they throw it at them. You don't see Leatherface fucking running out of gas. Not once. I mean, you'll see the chainsaw go off every now and then. He has to fucking pull the chain and fucking make it go, make it run again. You don't ever run out of gas. You don't ever see Leatherface with a non-working chainsaw. Ever. But it always happens to the protagonists in these movies. And then, the line by Busta with the trick or treat, motherfucker. And, it's so fucking cringeworthy. It's so bad. And apparently he knows how to use a bow staff, too. Like, I took martial arts when I was young. From like 6 years old to 14, 15, I have a black belt in Shotokan, I have a purple belt in ninjutsu. I know how to use a bow staff. Apparently he does too. He breaks the shovel on Michael, the shovel part falls off, and then he just starts whipping it around like a fucking bow staff. Again, does he know Kung Fu? Does he know karate? I don't know. Like, do I care at this point? No, like, not one bit. So let's just move on to the end here. And then Busta's whole news speech at the end, when the reporters are trying to talk to Sarah, they're trying to talk to him. It's so bad, like, it's cringeworthy. His whole speech at the end, Or like Michael Myers is a shark and he just kill everyone in front of him, and just like, I don't know why I'm talking like this, but I don't know. It's fucking so bad. And then terrible. This is the last thing I wrote. Fucking terrible. And then we see Myers just open his eyes and he's alive, obviously. Oh god, this movie is terrible. It is so bad. It gets worse on every time I rewatch this movie, which is not often. I've seen this movie maybe 4 times. Maybe 4 times. Like, this might be of like the 3rd or 4th time. Jesus Christ, man. I'm so happy that Zombie did his remakes instead of them continuing this. Because this would have just been, we would never see Michael Myers again. If we had another movie in this timeline after this movie, Michael would be fucking dead and buried from cinema, from film, forever. Like, we would have never gotten another Halloween movie. And like I said, not a bad thing for me. Like, I do not like the new trilogy. And like I said, Rob Zombie's remakes, they're fine. Like, he could have done that whenever. It doesn't have to coincide with the timelines of anything, with the timeline with Jamie Lloyd's whole thing between 4 and 6, or just H2O and this coming from part 2, and all of that. We would have never seen Michael Myers again if they'd made another film after this one, like in the same timeline. I almost guarantee it. And thankfully, we got Rob Zombie to step in. And I don't care for the remake that much. Yeah, I like it. I don't think it's great or anything like that. I absolutely love H2, which is a hugely unpopular opinion. I've said it enough times on this channel, and I'll probably get a whole bunch of shit for that video. I do not give a fuck. I love that movie. Michael is brutal in it. The kills are fucking brutal. I love that movie. Like, yeah, we got the white horse shit, which is stupid. But save this for Halloween H2O. Yeah, we did that already. Halloween H2, Rob Zombies, I'll save it for that. But now I gotta go watch the theatrical cut of part 6 so I can do a video on that and compare it with the producer's cut. So as soon as I can get these videos up, I will have them all up. And I will talk to you guys then. Take care.